So, and I need to make my rails yet. And I think still the color of these matches up pretty good. And I might be able to squeeze out all of them out of this, but let's just see. Okay? So this end was already cut square just now. But what I want to do is I don't need 13 inches anymore, I need 12 3/4. Because if you remember, the rail size now changes from the style to the rail. This one's going to be 12 3/4. So, same thing. I'm going to take my steel rule. I can raise this out of the way, turn it off the power and the switch, and I can just move in the stop block that 1/4 of an inch to make this the 12 3/4 that's needed. So that way I can go ahead and cut all my parts the exact size that's needed for my doors. So it's just that simple. Bring this back down, and as you remember, the height blade just stays the same. So go ahead and place this here. I don't slam it into the stop block. If you slam it into it, you could gently move it over. Here's our first rail for the door. This piece appears to be a little bit too short, as you can see. It's not quite long enough. So I'll set this with the other one. Now we have the X end, which is the end that was cut square. So this will be number 2. So now the first door, we have the rails and the stiles completely done. Again, let's go ahead and cut. Now we just have one more piece to cut as far as all the rails and stiles. And as you can see, again, this one's a little bit too short, but I'm not worried about that because I have other parts that I have to make. This piece, square end, nice straight tight grain. Beautiful grain on this one. Now, like I was saying, the rails and stiles now they're completely done. The one thing you want to check though is on your material, when you have your 2-inch strips, is if you have any discontinuity like this knot, that you're not using this inside your doors. It's really, really undesirable. So, with that being said, kind of moving along here, we have a lot of our rails. Now, we have to cut our panel, or panels. Here we have a piece of 1/4-inch plywood that's going to be used for our door panels. I'm going to remove the miter gauges. I'll just place these behind me out of the way because we don't have to use miter gauge when we're cutting plywood. So what I want to do is lift this up, turn off the power, and I want to set my blade to proper height again, which is 1/8 of an inch above the material. So I just set that up. Now, we have a good side and a bad side. This is the good side, and then you can see the bad side, which has knots in it, some voids in the veneer, things like that. So, let's just take a look at our handy-dandy board again. The panel is 9 3/4 of an inch tall by 12 3/4 wide. So let's go ahead and start with our largest diameter first. Our largest dimension first, I'm sorry, diameter. So I'm going to set this 12 3/4. I make sure the blade is away from the material is away from the blade when I start it up. Set 4 RPM. I push this all the way through. I bring this over here. Now, if I take this and I just move it over real quick like that, I don't have to worry about it caught in the blade. I hold it nice and tight to the fence. Turn it off and I wait for the blade to stop. Now my next dimension is 9 and I think 3/4, but let me just double check just to make sure. And yes, it is 9 3/4. Alright? Typically, I would just have a list, or whoever's running the saw that day would have a list of all the different parts. They can just check them off as they cut them. Remember, we always start with the largest pieces first. That way we can ensure that we have enough material and we're not wasting material. Now we're going to go 9 3/4 tall. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this way. First one cut. Wait for the blade to stop. Yep, we can get 2 of them out of this. Now we have our 2 panels for our door. So now, what we can do so you go ahead, see these are our rails and stiles for our doors, and then we can wrap them up, and then we're ready for the next time that we have to go ahead and our next step, which will be going to the router table and using the rail and stile bits to cut our rails and to cut our stiles. It'll create our grooves, which will allow for our panel to sit inside and all locks together nice and neatly. And I'll show you those clamps that end up really helping you out in keeping a door square right at 90 degrees. So until next time, I'm Mr. C in the shop working for you, building some doors for a cabinet, and that was step number 2. Stay tuned for step number 3 coming right at you. All right.